been talking about for a very long time that the inventory of homes in our active listings in our area is at all-time lows. Now, there are some media outlets that might think differently about that. So let's try to break it down as it relates to Des Plaines and some of the communities around Des Plaines.
So the headlines are inventory higher, inventory up, well, that is kind of true, but in our area, we're still at historic lows. So is it true that inventory went up by 10% like we saw in some
News outlets
and headlines? So, well, yeah, it went from 30 to 33. So,
or from 20 to 22.
So,
they're not wrong, but when you're dealing with extremely low inventory, an increase in inventory is much smaller margins.
So although it is true that they're up 10%, or maybe 14 or 15 or even 20%,
okay, so we're up to 4 listings now.
yeah, they're still at record lows. So what does that mean? We always talk about the laws of supply and demand. I talk about laws of supply and demand is like gravity. It's always there. And essentially, it's the number one thing that affects pricing, supply and demand. If your supply exceeds demand, it's a buyer's market. If demand exceeds supply, like we're in now and have been for quite a few years, prices stay up or maybe they go higher, and things keep rolling along, and it's a seller's market. So just because inventory is up 10, 15, 20% doesn't necessarily mean we move to a buyer's market. So that's where we have to understand. Jean mentioned that in some areas, it's true, prices have gone flat or gone down some. Well, if you look at where that is, there's only a couple of different reasons why that happened. It's mostly areas that have new construction. So they have the space, they have everything to build new homes so that the demand or the supply can keep up with demand or exceed it. There's also areas, and there's some areas in Florida and what have you are having issues with insurance and what have you. And I'm sure in the great Northwest, sorry to hear, they're having some major flooding. So for a while, things will settle down. But then the laws of supply and demand will take hold and your market will dictate what's happening. So that's what we're seeing. And then when you look at the numbers around, we talked about how inventory has gone up a little bit. We've compared the numbers from 2017 to 2019. The average
with the help,
numbers,
let's cite our source though, with the help of Inman and an interactive map, we've done our research, and we're always following the market in Des Plaines, Park Ridge, Mount Prospect, in the areas where Harlington Heights, where we live, to follow what the active inventory is at all times. But leveraging the insights from Inman, they helped us figure out how to compare pre-pandemic numbers of active listings to current active listings.
Right. And I think that link goes to somewhere else, so Inman got it from them.
Okay.
Brad Inman, well, there you go. We'll give you the
we'll give you that.
That's how we got it going. So comparing the number of active listings on average at this time of year between 2017 and 2019.
So pre-pandemic.
Right. The inventory in Des Plaines active is 35, but it's down 65.6% on what it averaged is. So that means right now, if at any price range for a single family home in Des Plaines, you have 35 to look at. On average, between 2017 and 2019, you had 100. So think about that.
So that's huge. I mean, when you start to think about that, yes, like Joe said, if you wanted to see all of the active inventory in Des Plaines right now, as we pull it up in late 2025, there are 35 single family homes to choose from. If you had done the same thing in 2019, 2018, 2017, there's a good chance that you had 100 or possibly a few more to look at.
And the numbers kind of hold serve across Park Ridge. That's actually down even more. It's down over 76%. And currently there's 30 homes for sale actively looking for a buyer. That would normally translate into, on average, 125. And then if you look at Mount Prospect, it's again right in there as well. It's down 68.3%. Now, we were surprised when we looked today, just a little while ago, that there's only 21 homes for sale. So that means on average you would have 65 homes between that same time period. I think that's a little low. I think it would have been normally closer to 100, but
Right.
again, we're dealing with a 3-month period right around.
And when we
this
look at
time.
the inventory in Mount Prospect currently, when we say there's 21 homes on the market, that does also account for a $1 million listing price swing. So we've got one that's below $300,000, and then we have the highest listing in Mount Prospect for a single family home that is sitting right about 1.2 million right now. So if you take some of those out, now you're at like 18 homes, that are available in Mount Prospect if you take out those two, bigger outliers.
So what does that mean? Well, for sellers, it still means it's a seller's market.
Exactly.
I mean, the sellers can dictate it. We're still seeing multiple offers. That's all over the northwest side of Chicago, the northwest suburbs, the western suburbs. We're still seeing if a home is priced right, it goes under contract right away, most of the time with multiple offers. So if you're a seller, you're still sitting, I had to coin a phrase, in the catbird seat.
Yes.
To sell your home quickly and kind of dictate a lot of what you want. What does that mean for buyers? Now, buyers, don't be too discouraged because there are homes coming on the market all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still opportunities. There's still opportunities to get out there and find the home, but you need to make sure you're working with a realtor who can keep you up to date and stay on top of things and find the ones that are coming on the market quickly and get you in, have you pre-approved, get a game plan to get your home sold. We just put one under contract the other day for wonderful buyers. So the opportunities are there and they're still coming on, so you just got to be ready.
The other piece that we do want to say, yes, in many cases there are multiple offers, but it is not 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. So there are opportunities for buyers to even find the right house that may have been on the market for a little while. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with it. It just didn't strike the buyers when it came on the market right away. And that could be a perfect opportunity for you as well to get into conversation with those sellers and, buy your forever house.
So I guess to sum things up, the law on supply and demand still is in effect.
Yes.
It's still happening. It's still going on. If you're looking in the Chicagoland area, demand is still exceeding supply, mostly because supply is still at or near historic lows. The good news for buyers, there's homes coming on the market every single day. And you just have to be ready to go. If you really want to get into that house, you got to be prepared, you got to be pre-approved, and you got to be ready that if you find the right one, you got to move quickly.
And who's going to be able to help you do that? We are. We are Joe and Jean Morello with the Spouses Selling Houses team at Keller Williams Realty. We have been selling Chicago's northwest suburbs and the area around O'Hare Airport for over 30 years. And now we would be happy to chat with you on how we might be able to help you make your next move.
Thanks.